Is this the new normal that farmers have to face and agronomists have to face as they're looking into the next harvest and the harvests that come after that?
Yeah, I believe the sadly answer is yes, because it's not I don't know the word, like sporadic. I don't know
Right.
what's the word, like events. This phenomenon of climate, no matter when, but like every year, agronomists, like at least I, are sure something gonna happen during the season. So our red farmers and agronomists had to be prepared for something, no matter if heat waves. We learn a lot of with the heat waves that we had last season, which affected the 2024 season. That changed the size of the beans because of the high temperatures that we had. So we learned something. Like I said, last year we had the drought that affected to the 2024. And every year we learn something that we are preparing more.
If you're looking for a free way to support the work we do, bringing you conversations with our amazing guests on the Daily Coffee Pro podcast by Map It Forward, please subscribe, follow, and rate us wherever you listen to the podcast. It really helps us out. It's also a huge help if you share this episode and our social media content with your coffee friends. For links, check the show notes. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is unfortunately the final episode of a really wonderful 5-part series with Jonas Ferraresso from Brazil. He's an agronomist, specifically a coffee agronomist in Brazil. And we've been talking about the harvest for this year, as well as for next year. But things are changing in Brazil, in coffee production in Brazil. And one of the things that Jonas and I had spoken about as we were preparing for this series was trying to understand if these changes that have happened since 2021's really intense frost events, if the volatility that's happening and the instability that's happening in the weather, is this the new normal? Or is this something that is just like a blip in the radar? And so we know already at this point in 2025 that the next harvest for 2026 is going to be lower than expected. But it's also this following this trend, this downward trend of coffee harvests. So Jonas, I guess I want to start this episode off by asking you, is what's happening, is all of this instability and all of this volatility when it comes to coffee production, is this the new normal that farmers have to face and agronomists have to face as they're looking into the next harvest and the harvests that come after that?
Yeah, I believe the sadly answer is yes, because it's not I don't know the word, like sporadic. I don't know what's the word, like events. This phenomenon of climate, no matter when, but like every year, agronomists, like at least I, are sure something gonna happen during the season. So our red farmers and agronomists had to be prepared for something, no matter if heat waves. We learn a lot of with the heat waves that we had last season, which affected the 2024 season. That changed the size of the beans because of the high temperatures that we had. So we learned something. Like I said, last year we had the drought that affected to the 2024. And every year we learn something that we are preparing more. I believe that if we are not making any change in global, that's something gonna change by itself. In my opinion, is is the changes are kind of, people are trying to do it, but the global impact of many stuff maybe take maybe years, decades. We not sure. Climate world. I once talked with the global climate specialist. There is not of many of them worldwide, by the way. They said it's very complicated to understand climate in global level because even with very high technology computers and a lot of data that we have, it's unpredictable because the way that climate and how they the things connect, and every year we have another data that are fed in this system. So the models and predictions are very hard to be sure. If they had that, they will be easier to deal with climate issues, by the way. But he said to me, it's very, very complicated. So we studied some phenomenon that occur before to understand the future. Sometimes that we could understand better the future than use the data to predict, forecast stuff. But in the conversations, he said to me, it's the changing is happening. We saw that every year. Even like I said, sometimes people are more stubborn in a way to climate because of this modern way to think about stuff that I at least do not understand. If we have data and we have empiric results, it's easier to say something is going wrong. It's not about opinion, it's about what farmers worldwide see.
Are witnessing.
So, yeah, so like I said, sometimes I really do not understand. If like I'm a normal person, I have some kind of level of accessibility to some studies and some people, but like very wealthy people probably have access to more studies and more people that could advise them for business, by the way. This is, for them is a question of money. If they are not worried, there will be a time that they could not make money because of the climate. If they are so interested in climate. But I saw an interview 2 days ago with a neuroscientist in Brazil, very famous, by the way, that he said humankind, it's strange because he exchanged the future for money and is the only species that do that. They many times understand that this stuff could harm the future, but they still do it because of the money that they earning with that. Now it's very hard to put some stuff in the people's mind and to understand how dangerous is this attitude for the future to, like you said, do use AI and have environmental to do it. Even we know AI is important, but until the point that maybe future is a little bit more important than money. But I really do not understand how these people think about the future and how this impacts climate that affect everyone.
Especially because we're messing with the food source. Like we're messing with food security. This is, it blows my mind how many people think that I'm exaggerating when I talk about the possibility of food insecurity into the future. It's a very real thing, folks. Like producers, governments, agronomists, everyone's trying to figure out how to solve this problem. Because it's real. We may not be able to grow the food that we need to feed everybody into the future. We may not be incentivized to do that. Something that I wanted to pick up on that you said in the last episode about varieties is that scientists are working on new varieties, but if they keep working, they're working on the future, right? So they're trying to solve the problems that we're going to have in the future with different varieties of coffee that they're trying to breed today. Is the weather that you were talking about, how it's not sporadic, the extreme weather patterns that we're having, they're regular now. They happen. We know that they're going to happen every year. Is there a guarantee, or is there at least any kind of confidence that these varieties that we're coming up with are going to be able to keep up with the acceleration of the changes in weather?
We could, do a kind of simulation.
Okay.
It's not cheap to do it, by the way, but there are, how can I say, a structure in some universities and research facilities that call like super greenhouse, that we could simulate rain, drought, temperature, and everything to test this variety like they do in automobilistic industry.
Like simulations.
Yeah, like a simulation in weather, humidity levels, everything. But I know it's not expensive. But everything, when we talk about research that do not make a lot of money, it's expensive. You know, if people are talking about AI, they said about billions of dollars. But when we talk about public institutions doing research, and this is an issue worldwide, not only in Brazil, but in other countries that are facing this issue now, because some governments do not believe a lot on research, but they start to think they are wrong in many aspects. Like we saw in pandemic, by the way, and they do not have enough of money to test. I said, if the coffee chain, it's the coffee research facilities have enough of money, and it's not just money, but people to do researching, because we need to pay these people to do the research. It's not about researcher, but about the team that help them to do the research. We could advance like 10 years in 2 years with the proper resources. And so we are testing as much as we can. Like in Brazil, what we do plot trials in different regions with these new varieties. For instance, I was responsible for one of these trials with 24 varieties of Coffee Arabica in a mountainous area with some conditions, but they have replication. I don't know if it's the right word.
Like a control?
Yeah. Like in many other regions, flat areas, hot areas, cold areas, etc. So it's how we do it. We understand the climate in different regions. It's the better way to do it. And we check all the results, and okay, this is a very hot region that we're planting Arabica. Maybe this colder region will be that region in the future.
Right. So they're trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah. So it's the two ways that we do. Most in Brazil, we do that multi-location trials to understand that, then do it in this super greenhouse, because some universities use these greenhouses for many studies. We are not talking just about coffee, but there are many crops that need to be studied in a record time, by the way. And many places do not have this specialty greenhouses, which we should control everything to understand. So this multi-trial plots, it's the best way that we are doing in Brazil, at least.
The part that confuses me a little, given that coffee, when it gets into the ground, it needs it needs a couple of years before it starts to fruit. In that couple of years for the first harvest, is it possible that we could see the climate change completely in an area?
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't that mean... Go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah. That's why when we start to do a research or a breeding, we make sometimes hundreds of variations and tested all until we reach the perfect one. And now with the technology of genetic mapping that we understand better in coffee, it's still a lot to learn because it's like genetic mapping is like if you have a map of something, but we have the map, but do not understand what this part of the genetic mapping means. So we have the map, but we need to understand what these genes means for the plant or the coffee tree. So we are in the area that we are understand this genetic spaces of the mapping to understand what they do. Some we already understand, like resistant to some diseases like coffee leaf rust. We understand almost all the genes that are involved in this resistance to coffee leaf rust. So when you do the breeding, and we have the plant, just in the beginning, we take the leaves and already check it if the plant have the characteristics, or we could discard them. So it's like take years of researching because we already narrow what we want. So we do another trial, and we could do I forget the word, like
cloning.
Yeah, like cloning with the plants. That helps a lot because a lot of crops, coffee is one of them, we need genetic stability in order to offer a new variety for the farmer. If they plant the seeds, they should look exactly like what we want. But with the cloning now, it's still in the beginning for cropping. I know some companies worldwide that are doing that, but Brazil is still making sure this could be a commercial product for the farmer. But it's like we discover a very good variety. But when we breed this variety, we have a lot of variation. And we lost the characteristics. With cloning, we could take this variety and said, okay, this is a replicas, and they are all good, and this could make like a decade less time of breeding. It's called hybrid, F1 hybrid. Some people know in coffee this F1 hybrid. And this could make the changes more faster than we used to be like take 20 to 30 years to release a new varieties in the past. And it's how researchers are trying to be faster than the climate and test everything in order to give good results. Sometimes it's take a decade, and in the end, we have nothing. That's why sometimes private companies don't like too much coffee breeding, because sometimes take 10 years of research, and in the end, the variety that you develop is not good enough anymore. Yeah.
And I guess what I wonder is, do you think we're going to get to a place where the climate, I guess the volatility of the climate is going to outpace the research? Are we preparing for that? Do we expect that to happen? Because let me just qualify why I'm asking that, if that's okay. Right now, coffee farmers are looking at a business model that they're looking, the first 6 years, they're not making money. They're looking after that. There's so much investment to get their trees to what they need it to be that they're really making money from 6 to 10 years. Right? That's where they're making their money. But if the climate is moving so quickly that the varieties that you have in the ground are no longer able to adapt to the climate that's happening, and you have to pull the trees up and you have to plant something different. Does this formulate a problem for the future of coffee production?
Yeah, and that's why we having so bad results in the last years, because it's not easier to put varieties again. It's very expensive, and take more 3 years to start to harvest. Like one reason that we are not growing so much in terms of yields, in my opinion, it's because the prices are so good that farmers are is not worried, but how can I say, like they think twice in take a variety that is not well adapted but still have coffee.
Yeah,
to put
it's fine. They send it to the commercial
3 years.
market. Yeah, they send it straight to the
because
commercial market.
I have a price today to sell my coffee for a good money. In 3 years, I don't know. So my variety is not well adapted for the climate, but still having coffee, which I could sell to the price that we have now in New York, or I take it out even with low yields and plant something new in order to see if in 3 years I'm gonna have a good price. So what I saw in Brazil, it's areas that there's no hope for the future for these trees because it's very, very old. They're putting new varieties, but varieties in the middle that sometimes farmers say, okay, it's not too good after 10 or 12 or 15 years of growing. Let's take it out and start again. They are thinking about, okay, let's wait more 1 year or maybe more 2.
While the prices are high.
Instead of see this future. The future used to be in that way, in my opinion. The future of coffee, it's crazy. Nobody know what the price is gonna be. But seeing these results in the last year, I saw a kind of instability in terms of, for me, it's impossible to think in the future coffee will be traded in the near future or in the medium term future at least by 100 cents a pound. It's crazy. It's like it will be the end of coffee growing worldwide. It's impossible to keep the price for like 1 month. By the way, it's not a way, I think. So farmers could see the future for the price is the reason that the prices are good are not good as should be because of the climate prices, but it's hard to think that farmers will sell their beans for 3 times less than they're selling now and keep coffee growing. So for me, it will be crazy to be in that scenario.
Well, and that's the kind of question I wanted to end the series on before we ask you the last question for the series. But what I'm curious about is if the market does tank, if we do see coffee go below, $2 a pound, or let's say go to $1.50 a pound, given how hard it is to grow coffee and how much more challenging the climate is getting and all of the issues that we've been discussing in the podcast this year and last year, do farmers have to start making a decision about whether coffee is viable or not? Does it make sense to grow coffee at $1.50?
Yeah, and is a point that I always bring to my articles or the podcasts. It's farmers always work in a low profit and they still growing.
High volume.
And it's kind of crazy in my opinion to in that time to grow coffee, but they have no ways to do in different way. But now I saw farmers saw these good prices and see how good it is to invest in their beans, to have money to pay their bills, and do not live always in the fringe of bankruptcy. And I think farmers will start to have a more entrepreneurial mind in terms of growing. and they saw, okay, why I stay so many times losing money with my business, and maybe with that money I made in coffee, I could maybe in the future invest in a different crop, or invest in another business, or do whatever I want. I think money gives that power to the farmer, before which they have a debt in some banks. They have a lot of bills to pay, so they have to keep going in order to pay all these problems that they have. Now they have the money, and they to pay that bills, and they have more money to invest in cropping. And even if they stay in business, one important thing that I already said in this podcast is we are not seeing a lot of new entrepreneurs or
This is
new
really
businesses
important.
starting in coffee growing. So the growers are getting older. Even if their family start to grow coffee, continue their growing, we still have the same amount of people that growing the crop. And if you have a business, if you not grow, you have a problem in your business, because it's important always to make a little bit more money or grow a little bit, because the future demands that. Companies that do not grow usually bankrupt in some time in the future. So we are facing an area of coffee that's not growing. The same people are starting, it's doing their business. So if some people start to get out of business, the growing area will start to shrink more. So how we could bring new people to growing, or keep that people growing coffee for a future for the coffee chain.
It's going to be very interesting to watch, because what you're talking about is succession, right? And the succession all over the world with regards to coffee, unless the next generation is really, really passionate about it, they don't see a reason to do it. So this is, I think, on a longer term scale, this is one of the biggest challenges for coffee. Right now, I think the most immediate challenge is going to be climate and building resilient farms. But over a 20, 30-year time horizon, I think succession and making sure that we have entrepreneurs that want to be in farming for coffee, I think this is going to be the biggest problem. And if we can't solve this, this is going to be a real threat to our industry long term. But people are not thinking about that now. I don't know why they're not thinking about it now. But Jonas, thank you. This has been an incredible series. I don't know how, but every year you come on, you make the latest series even better than the series that was before. So thank you very much. Our last question that we ask guests now is, when the future version of you comes back and watches this, what do you hope for him?
It's like I said, it's really hard to think, but I think always I put my thoughts and my ideas in different ways. When I mean, I do not always take a part of anything. I always understand everyone have some reason to do it, even the crazy money guys. We have to understand that to see what kind of solution we have. Now we are facing a world that we do not talk each other because of our differences. We always have difference. We always have problems, but the scale we are facing worldwide, it's huge. To not understand the both part of the two perspective, I always said the opinion, the opinion and the reasons is a version of anyone, how they have they experience everything. and how they put what they want and what they think. So as a human being, I always try to understand both parts to make a better future in coffee or in my personal life. And I hope the Jonas in the future is still thinking that way, that we first have to sit and talk, and if we need to fight, sometimes we need to fight. It's not about avoiding the fighting, but about taking the right fightings to fight. I always think in that way. Confrontation is important, exchange ideas is important, and I hope in the future think exactly in that way, to listen to everyone, to understand their demands, and find the best solution, the better solution for the future, for them, and make the world better for everyone.
I hope that he and I are still having conversations on the podcast, whether we agree or not. I don't think you and I have ever disagreed, but excuse me, I love what you said there about the fact that you hope that no matter what and who it is that you're having the conversation with, agreeing or disagreeing, we need more of what you said there. We need more people having conversations. And I hope you and I are still having them into the future. Before we go, tell people where they can find you online, Jonas.
I'm on the Instagram with Jonas Coffee Agronomist, or on LinkedIn by Jonas Lee Ferraresso. And both of the networks a little bit different. One, Instagram, talk a little bit about my daily days on coffee farms, on doing some stuff on my office. I work with cupping and roasting too. I love to understand the chain by a whole, by the way. So the Instagram is about what I do for my day during the season, the off season. And my LinkedIn, I post more about the articles about coffee, about technology, about how the season are going, interesting stuff that I think I need to put about genetics. And so we have the both ways that we like to follow me.
And we will have links in the show notes, folks. So please, this is one of those humans in coffee that you should be following so that you stay informed. Don't just wait for him to come on the podcast every year. Follow him throughout the entire year. Jonas, thank you again for a great series. I was wondering, would you sign us off for this series?
Peace and peanut butter.
Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. Bye. This episode is part of a 5-part series produced by Mapper Forward. Check the full playlist and guest details in the show notes, as well as how you can support our work in the coffee industry. Become a premium YouTube subscriber, explore our Patreon and any brands we've partnered with to bring you this podcast. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really does help us grow our audience.